but I'm under conviction to share my thoughts with you. When you come in and say hello, this will not be very long. Hey, Tavares Apostle, I love you so much. Let me go in my living room. Hey, Ebony Oliver, Breezy, hello to everybody. Share this real quick. Wake somebody up and let them know I got a little wisdom for them. I will not be very long at all, but I want to share something with you. And I know that a lot of you probably will not get this until the morning, but I want to just share a couple of quick thoughts with you. Hello to all of you. It is good to see you. Share this. Tyra Stevenson, I miss you. I hope that you got World Changer Summit plans. Hey, NY Shy is in the house. Yes, I am up. Yes, Eddie, I am stirred up. Rakina, hey. I got a lot going on in my mind and in my heart. And I want to share something with you that I think is going to bless you. So I'm just going to give you about 10 minutes or so of some reflection, some things to be thinking about as you rest and as you sleep tonight. So, hey, Pastor Marvin, good to see you. Just Chris 06, Nia Land, hey, you are from NY Shy. That's amazing. Hey, so share this real quick. I am resting. I am doing Where is Waldo? And I committed to sharing some reflections with you during my time of Sabbath and during my time of rest, some things that the Spirit of God will quicken me on and for, and I'll share with you in case or in the event that it blesses you. I so appreciate all of you who are famous or consistent. Chartemus, I love you, honey. Consistent with logging on every time or anytime you see me. I know I should, and I'm actually going to sleep. World Changers is on the way. Listen, thank you for those of you that shared this. God bless you. I want to share something with you for those of you that are up with me tonight. I am in the first week of some time of reflection and some time of rest. And I've been getting quite a bit of insights as a byproduct of even just this first week. I got a couple more weeks left. But I'm in a time of rest, and I thank God for a beautiful church that releases me to do so and that prompts me to do so and understands why it needs to be done. And so this is the first week of that, and I've been doing some reading, been doing some studying, and my church has a prayer meeting that they do every week for me, for our church, in preparation for the coming season. And so today I was in conversation with my campus pastors. So I have 7 campus pastors. Hey, bro, Pastor Winfield, good to see you, man. I have 7 sites. So All Nations is one church, 7 locations. And I was in conversation with them today. And I have a very close relationship with all of my campus pastors. And so often I find myself pouring into them and saying things that I think are important in just conversation. So as we relate on a day-to-day basis, I'll end up saying things that I think other people need to hear, need to know. Today was such a case. We were talking today, and out of my mouth to them came these words. The reason what we do works so well and the reason our approach works so well is because we put vision before ego. This is a leadership tip, but I think it will work for any of you that have a vision to start or to do anything. Vision belongs before ego. We are in a very ego-heavy culture, an ego-driven culture. And in an African-American context, a part of what makes All Nations an anomaly is that there are people who are able to exist, to lead, to envision exclusively. All of the 7 campuses that I have, all of them could do whatever they were called by God to do without me. By choice, they could all do it exclusive or separate from me, and the vice versa. But I think what strengthens a lot of what we do is the act of humility that it takes to choose to do it together. And ego is something that impedes all vision and all momentum. If you will do your own due diligence and study past moves of God, past business endeavors, and see how things grow, things move, things expand up until ego interrupts it. So, in our context, there is always the opportunity for ego to interfere with the next set of directions. But if you're going to lead, and if you're going to lead something that is uncommon, you've got to make a deliberate intention to crucify the ego. It is so important that you realize that whatever God has called you to do is bigger than you as an individual. You are significant, you are important, and you've got to take care of yourself and make sure that you are in the right mind space and the right emotional space to be what you need to be for whoever needs you to be it. But more importantly, you need to realize that you are not bigger than the vision God has given you. And so you always need to put ego behind vision. If more people in the African American context would understand how important it is to put ego behind vision, there would be less quarrels. There would be less competition. There would be less fights. There would be much less offense. I think we don't realize how dangerous ego is and how dangerous it is to live in an ego-driven society and then to hide the ego under the guise of ministry and to clothe the ego under a disguise of wanting to help people. You would be surprised at how many ministry attempts are really motivated by a desire to expand or explore a brand versus just really helping people and helping people to heal and helping people to walk in deliverance. Ego is a very dangerous thing, and it is Satan's easiest way to interrupt anything that God is doing, is to get ego in the way. It'll ruin any movement. It'll ruin any growth. So I think one of the things that I'm grateful for, even in my reflections about what God has called me to do and who God has called me to, one of the things that I'm grateful for is that we have deliberately chosen to do it together, which means that we have deliberately chosen to crucify the ego. It is important. All of you are going to learn how to do the dance of taking yourself seriously and not taking yourself so seriously. So it's a fine line between low self-esteem and then staying low enough where you prefer others before yourselves, or where you remind yourself or you are conscious of the fact that even on your best day, you are still in need of a loving, merciful, caring Savior. So I want to challenge you, if you are a leader, an entrepreneur, a CEO, anybody that invents stuff or is invested in anything, you have to be very, very, very careful of what you allow your ego to do. Ego will get in the way of your ability to forgive people. Ego will get in the way of a good thing. It's how many good things go bad, is that ego gets in the way. Marriage, the problem is ego and how people want to be seen. If you will surrender to the Lord your right to be seen in a certain way, then he can get so much use out of you and so much more use out of your life. I was talking to the campus pastors and we were very candid about the fact that all of us could achieve things apart from and separate from each other. It is not that either of us really had a dire need, for survival's sake that is, to be a part of each other. But by deliberate humility and by deliberate choice to do it together, a part of what it's done is it has helped people to see that if you want to do more, you have to do it together. We can do some stuff individually, but we can do a lot more together. But what ruins togetherness and real biblical unity is ego. And sometimes people allow others to inflame the ego. Remember when Saul and David were going through their saga, and the Bible says that there were people that were singing the song of David. Saul has slain his thousands, David has slain his tens of thousands. And what happened was Saul got intimidated and Saul got frustrated and Saul became angry at what the people sang. And the real truth is not that the people were singing it, because the public is just that. They're going to sing the praise of whatever is popular for the moment, which is why it's dangerous to ever be driven by what the public is saying at the moment, because they'll sing a different song in a different season. But that's a whole different workshop. about. The real truth is Saul's issue with David was not necessarily David, but it was more or less what he could not see in himself. It was an ego issue. It was the fact that there were others that were acknowledging David's achievements, David's feats, David's accomplishments, and Saul had his ego punctured. I want to challenge you. Allow the Spirit of God to deal with your ego. It may be in the way of critical partnerships. It may be in the way of critical advancements. It may be in the way of the span of your potential reach. You may be doing well. You may be reaching 50 people, 100 people, maybe even 1,000 people. But there is a chance that you could be doing much more on a broader scale, on a wider level, if you would crucify your ego. Being a part of something bigger than you does not diminish who you are as an individual. And there is a cultural idea that if I attach myself to something bigger than myself, then I become less than myself. And it's not true. It's the lie of the enemy. And it's the lie of the enemy to keep you out of necessary partnerships and necessary associations and necessary affiliations. So please know that what gets in the way of all aggressive achievement is personal ego. So you have to be willing to realize that it doesn't diminish you to associate yourself with something bigger than who you are. What should you be attached to? What should you be a part of? What should you be helping to build that you won't because of the power of an ego? All right, I just want to give that to you. I'm about to go chill in my jacuzzi, talk to my wife, and we're going to chill out. Until next time, I'm probably going to be giving you a lot more wisdom keys as I reflect and think about things that God has given me to think of. But I want you to really commit and in your ministry and in your organization. Kill that ego and you will accomplish more. All right. God bless you. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.